aren't aware, I believe it was September 22nd at midnight Pacific time, Facebook unraveled about or released about 25 new changes throughout their program, throughout their technology. And it's nothing new. You know, if anyone's a historian or a real long-time user of Facebook, which pretty much came out in 2004, they come out with new changes really on a probably semi-annual basis. These changes actually coincided with Facebook's big annual event. I actually forget the name of it, but each year they have like this huge Facebook gathering where Mark, the CEO, kind of talks about the future, the direction. They kind of copy what Apple does. And obviously they talked a lot about these changes that we're going to cover today, but they also talked a lot about the next wave of changes, like I said, are going to come out probably either tonight at midnight or tomorrow, which are going to include the new timeline feature. And I don't want to go through that today because obviously it's not released yet. But my point is there are big-time changes coming. And really what I want everyone to think about today is not, oh, my God, look at all these changes and have, like them or have an opinion or whatnot. We all are salesmen, okay? We have to all realize that. And our goal using social media, at least my goal is always to get my brand out to people. And that's why I use social media. I kind of am like a cyborg-like to it. I don't get any enjoyment out of Facebook or LinkedIn. I do it to grow my business. And I think to be successful, in some aspects, you have to think with that mentality. So my point is I know a lot of agents that have come to me and said, I don't like the changes or I like the changes. At the end of the day, changes are good for one reason. It means more people are on Facebook paying attention to our brand, and that's the goal. The goal is to get our brand paid attention to so the phone rings. And that's really the power of social media, is that people pay attention to it. And that's the one thing you never can forget, guys, is that we're doing this because it's a crowd of people and we're selling something. So anyway, let's talk changes. Basically going to be two sides to today's presentation. One, I'm going to go through and kind of pinpoint the changes. The second half, I'm going to talk about how these changes can be used strategically to grow your business. Okay? So the first kind of wave of changes were done on the Facebook personal page. And I know specifically this upper right-hand corner here has confused many people beyond belief, right? So before there used to be a button that said profile. And when you clicked on it, you went to your own personal profile page, all right? And there was always a button called home, except it was the first button. So what they did is and then there was a button for account. What they did is they got rid of the account button, and they pretty much put a drop-down box here. So if you click this drop-down box, you can go and you can change your settings, and you can go to your business page by clicking Use Facebook as Page. And then you can go to all your pages that you have that you want to manage. Okay? Of course, you can still go to your Facebook business page by just going over here and clicking where you work. You know, CEO and President at benefitstore.net. I click that, takes me to my business page. All right, I'm just trying to give you the new navigation, guys. So they got rid of the account button, replaced it with a down arrow. They got rid of the profile button and just replaced it with your name and picture. They thought that would be easier. So if you click on your name, that takes you to your page. It takes you to what other people would see if they came to your Facebook personal page. If you click on the home button, it's the same as always. You go to your news feed, right? Remember, no one else can see the news feed except you. This is, specific to you as a person. So just to review, you click on your picture, it takes you to your profile page. You click on home, it takes you to your news feed. You click on the down arrow, you can, edit your account and whatnot. All right? So that was kind of some small stuff that they did. They also added this little ticker over here on the right, which basically it's basically a live ticker compared to the news feed. So if I click on home, you'll see that my latest one is from this guy, John Battaglino. I might have to scroll pretty far down to find that post. Because basically the news feed is not, it's alive, but it's not super fast. So they added the ticker to be real time. So literally this Linda Woods Cleary just posted, and I can certainly put my mouse over it and get more information on that post. So if I wanted to take a look at what Carrie posted, I can put my mouse over it. Here's more information. Caitlin, here's her information. So my point is they're trying to make it more real time, more user-friendly. So they added the stock ticker. Now, what they also did to your news feed, and this is where a lot of, oh, I have a question. I guess I'll take it. Hold on a second. Okay, well, here's a question, and I don't want to get too crazy here with this kind of stuff because this is what I would call a gossip question. There's a lot of gossip out there about Facebook, a lot of rumors and stuff, and this question is kind of a rumor. Did you hear anything about if we search and read things that it'll show up in our feed? The answer is yes, I did hear about that. And this would only occur if you had downloaded customized applications for music, for news, and whatnot. Then it would display on the news feed. If you haven't downloaded any custom applications, it's not going to show up on your news feed. How would they possibly know? So I can do a webinar on that in the future when all this stuff comes together with phase 2 of the updates. But my point is I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, and that kind of goes out to all of you. There's like I said, a lot of gossip out there. Just be careful. There's gossip out there that Facebook's going to charge you. None of that stuff's happening. Anyway, so you know what? Maybe I'll answer questions at the end. Let me kind of keep going here. So they added the ticker. They obviously changed the news feed. So they changed the news feed to show most popular stories followed by most recent stories. Okay, so you don't see that on mine because I go to Facebook every 2 minutes. So it's always the most recent. But if you go to Facebook, let's say once a day, you're not going to see all of the news in order. You're going to see the news that's the most interacted with first. We're going to talk about how this is going to affect you strategically in a few minutes. All right, but just note that they kind of changed how the order is, and there's nothing you can do to unsort that at this moment. Okay, so that's kind of some basic stuff with how the posting is displaying. Here's some more interesting stuff. They've added, and again, I feel like I have the constant battle with people to explain the difference between the Facebook personal page and the Facebook business page. Well, what Facebook has done on the personal page is they said, look, if you want to see what people post, but you don't want to become friends with them, you can go and click on subscriptions. Okay? So basically what Facebook has done is they've added to everyone's personal profile the ability to follow them, to subscribe to their personal page. So think of it, and I know this is probably confusing everybody, but think of it kind of like Twitter, or think of it like the Facebook business page. The Facebook business page, somebody has to click like, and then they get all of your posts. Okay? Well, what you can do is you can activate the subscriptions button only on your personal page, and people can go and say, yeah, I want to subscribe to see what Ken French Jr. posts. Now, the good news with that is that you can set up features and settings so that the people who are subscribers to your posts, they see different stuff than like what your mom sees. So my point is you can really control the content that a friend sees compared to a subscriber. And I don't want to really harp on this and go into detail because I don't think this subscription feature is really good for what we do and what we sell. It's really good for like a politician or somebody who's an independent consultant that really is just trying to promote themselves and is trying to get a following who kind of has ideas and preaches these ideas. That would be the reason you would use the subscription feature. But my point is the subscription feature is for, you can put it on your personal profile, people can follow your posts, but they don't have to be friends with you. Okay? That's the purpose of it. Again, you want to stay away from that. You really want to get people going to the business page for your agency and getting them to click like and become fans of your page. I can't stress how important that is because, again, the business page is customizable. It has the reviews tab. It has so much more than the personal page, and is going to get you much more results. So anyway, the subscription feature is in play. Facebook has also, and they kind of took this from Google+, they have also come up with a feature that pretty much lets you put all your friends into different folders, kind of like LinkedIn, kind of like Facebook, kind of like Google+. And basically what you can do is you can go into each friend. I'll take Eric as an example. Okay, he's a friend of mine, and I can go in and click on the Friends button and then put him into a different subfolder. So I have some subfolders here that I didn't create that Facebook kind of auto-created. You'll see Close Friends, Acquaintances, BenefitStore.net, FindInsuranceExperts.com, whatever. You can create these subfolders, and then what you can do, again, here's why you'd want to put people in different folders. You would put them in different folders because when you post, you can then choose which people see it. So if I was to post something, you'll see down here at the bottom it says public. That means it goes out to everyone. But if I chose the drop-down, I could choose, just family and hit post. So, maybe you went to a wedding and you have all these pictures. You don't want people to see. You don't want all your friends seeing them, but you want everyone in the wedding, all your family, to see it. You could choose the family folder and just send it out to them. So it would just go to their news feed. Make sense, guys? Basically, really taking it down a level for marketing. And, to be honest, and we'll talk strategy in a minute, what that starts to do is it separates the people who are organized and have a game plan from the people that are just connecting with everybody and are kind of doing stuff. And this is kind of what I always feared, and this is where we're kind of headed. And I talk about this with LinkedIn all the time. Social media is now getting to the next level, where it used to be you just kind of connected with people and that was powerful. Well, now the people that are going to really do well and really dominate and get a lot of results out of social media are the people that have a game plan, that are organizing their distribution and are sending out targeted messages to targeted groups. That's how you're going to get results. So, these features are good in some ways. You should take the time, and every time you connect with somebody, select them and put them in a subfolder. I mean, I do it with LinkedIn, and now I have to do it with Facebook. But it's always, from a marketing standpoint, very helpful to be able to target your message to targeted groups. So anyway, they've given you the ability to organize your connections. Now, going to the business page for a second, they've done two things. One, they've gotten rid of the rule that said you have to have 25 fans to have a Facebook web address. So if anyone doesn't have 25 fans yet, you can just go to your business page, click on Edit Page, and then click on Basic Information. And what you would look at is the thing called the username, and you can set that right now. So you'll see that my username is facebook.com/benefitstore.net. If you haven't done it already, you probably want to go in there and change your username to your brand. So if you're Bob's Insurance, make it facebook.com/Bob's Insurance. My only disclaimer is you can only change that once, so be careful. Okay, so that's a new feature to the business page. The other feature is the share feature now shows up. So let me see if I can find one. If you post something and somebody shares, which is part of the interaction family, remember, I told you, the real money with Facebook and the way you're going to be real successful is when you get interaction. That means people click that they like it, they comment, and they share. Then your post goes out to all of their distribution. Well, now Facebook has actually listed if a share occurs. So you'll see with this one post I had about fast facts, there was a share. So if I click on it, I can see that Ginger Watts, she shared this to all of her connections. So that was good. That post picked up a lot more distribution. But now that it's there and you can see if you get a share, it's just great. It makes it know you're doing well. Okay, so from a strategy standpoint, the biggest change that occurred is Facebook changed the way pictures display. Okay, so I don't know if it looks different from, now it looks like all my pictures have updated. But, okay, so here's the point. When you post a picture now, and I'll see if I can see a few on my news feed, they've made the pictures much bigger. See, look, here's a picture from this Julie. Here's a picture of her kids. Look how big it is. Before it used to be very small, but now the pictures are much bigger, okay? What that means is strategically, you need to take advantage of that. So when you're posting, you better have pictures. You say, well, why do I need pictures? Well, here's an example. This guy, Kevin Lynch, he posted some sort of link, okay, I don't know, some sort of article. Here's his post. It's just a link. It's a blue link. He's competing against these pictures of kids. All right, so remember, when you post, it's going to people's news feeds. All right, so when it goes to the news feed, your post is competing against a lot of stuff. So strategically, you want to have a little kitten with a, witch hat, because people are going to look at that. I'm not saying you put cute next to it. Maybe you put an article that you want read, or you put something you want read. It's strategy, guys. There's, you get the people's attention, and then they read what you've said. So pictures are more important than they ever were before. That's my point. And I highly recommend that you use pictures when you post.